I want to thank the Shanker Institute for this very, very informative and detailed, important report. I am glad because it is shedding a light on the reality of what's going on in our school systems around this country. As I listened to Liz talk, I said, well, she's taken another point of mine, and she's taken another point. I mean, but it just shows you that what's happening in Washington, D.C. is happening in Philadelphia, is happening in the other cities that were mentioned in this report. I want to also say that it's just good to be here with Professor Ingersoll, who worked with us in Philadelphia in about 2002 on something that we called the Campaign for Human Capital. And we were grappling with the issue of recruiting and retaining teachers then. And a huge committee representing people from various businesses in the city of Philadelphia, along with educators from the school district as well as universities, came together to try to do something about this problem that we're grappling with today. And because that administration at the time was interested in this issue and in recruiting and retaining teachers, we were able to make some improvements in the district relative to recruitment and retention of teachers of color. However, as we move forward, things changed because Philadelphia, if you haven't heard, always has a big budget problem. And there were massive layoffs. But there were a number of other things that happened during that time, over the last few years as well. In the mid-'80s, the School District of Philadelphia was under the order of the Commonwealth Court regarding a desegregation plan for the school district. And in that plan, the issue of recruiting and retention of teachers was an issue. And as a result of that court order, the school district had to consciously make sure that a certain percentage of minority teachers were in each school working with the children. It's been said how important it is for children to see people who look like them as much as possible in school, in their communities, so that they will have those role models to emulate. When children don't see Black, brown, Indian, and Hispanic educators and other school employees in a building, they only emulate what they see in the communities. And as educators, we want them to be able to see and do more and to be very successful. Well, in 2009, and I found it interesting when reading this report, when looking at the chart, you'll see that in Philadelphia's data, in 2009, there was a drop in the number of minority teachers in Philadelphia. And that had to do with a couple things. Always the budget, but in 2009, the superintendent at the time went before the Commonwealth Court judge and convinced her that it was time to end the desegregation ruling that watched the policies of the Philadelphia School District. The judge agreed, and the rest is history. From that point on, the minority number of teachers in our system has steadily declined because there is no attention paid to who is going to work in each school. And as I listened to Liz talk about going into buildings and looking at the faculties that we meet with, our teacher workforce in schools the staff is becoming more and more racially segregated again. And when hiring staff this year, one school had 9 teacher vacancies and hired 9 white teachers. We know that there are qualified minority teachers who could have been a part of that staff, but that did not occur. And that's why I'm just so thrilled today that the focus is back on what is actually happening in schools, so that presidents like Liz and me aren't the only ones who are going into buildings and saying what is occurring before our eyes and what's happening to our teachers, and that we won't, hopefully, in the few days to come, wonder what happened to our children, and our children who will not have ever had, and it's very possible that it can happen, that they may never have had a minority as an educator in their lifetime. Thank you very much.